Good morning. It's Thursday morning. It's about 9:30. We've been underway a little while. The weather forecast for today was for winds of 5 knots out of the north, and it is out of the north. And it's odd that the forecast didn't give a range. It just said 5 knots. It's about twice that, with some gusts higher than that. So I don't know what to make of that. I don't know if it's going to build or fall off. It is also supposed to clock around to the east later in the day. So we are currently headed east. We'll look at the chart later. We went around the south end of Islesboro Island through a place where the water is a little thin. Fortunately, it was high tide, but I learned in going through that area that I should definitely not go through there at low tide. So that was interesting. But so I think we're going to go over and round the north tip of Vinal Haven Island and then head south down to Seal Bay. Since I can't trust the weather forecast, Seal Bay is a good destination because that's protected from all directions. So, and it's very pleasant there. Anyway, I'll keep you posted as things unfold. I did, I'll report, I did sail off the anchor this morning, even though the wind was coming into that bay. So I had to tack out of the bay to get underway, but managed to do that despite some equipment issues in the middle of it. But so that was a good start to the day. It is still completely overcast. We are supposed to see more sun later in the day, and I'd like to see that. So, all right, we'll talk more later. So it's about 10 minutes of noon, and we are in a different world. So it's about 10 minutes of noon, and we are in. It's about 10 minutes of noon, and we're in a different world. So the wind finally has gone down to a reasonable proximity of the forecast, 5 knots. And that happened pretty suddenly. So I had been reefed both main and jib, and suddenly I found I was not going anywhere. So both those sails came out fully, and the seas flattened out pretty quickly. And the wind did come around to the east as predicted, not southeast yet. So, and it probably hasn't really warmed up. It's just that less wind chill going on. So I'm feeling much warmer than I had been. So anyway, we've turned the corner and are now headed south on the west coast, no, the east coast of North Haven Island. And we're cruising along on a beam reach, roughly, and it's all very pleasant now. Not that it was unpleasant before. So anyway, we'll continue along and take some pretty pictures. We have I'm going to take a little detour and explore some potential anchorages a little south of here. It's approaching 5 in the afternoon, and we are anchored in Seal Bay, and we've been here a while, as is usually the case. and it's absolutely gorgeous outside. Unfortunately, though, there's still a little bit of east breeze, not very much, but that means that the stern is facing the setting sun in the west, and there's no place in the cockpit I can sit that wouldn't have you dealing with the sun glare. So I'm hiding out here in the cabin to film this. So we'll do the usual, and I'll show you the chart, and we'll take a look around. So we'll start off looking east, away from the sun. And as you can see, I think one term that is used for this kind of condition is mill pond. There's nothing, hardly a ripple in the water. So, and not too many boats here either. There's one or two boats over there that are on moorings, I think. There must be a house or two or something over there. There's a dock. So those are not temporary residents. They're more or less permanent residents. Anyway, we're at about half tide, maybe a little below that now. And here, we've done these look-arounds in Seal Bay before, but every time it looks a little bit different, and maybe you haven't watched any of those videos. So this is one of our favorite areas. I think this is the third time we've anchored in this general area up against this totally undeveloped shore. And back up in this cove is a house. They have a very nice view. And then I guess the sun isn't too bad. It's right in this area. I can't see much, but the picture seems to be coming out, I think. So the last time I was here, it was a weekend, and there were lots and lots of boats here. Right at the moment, I can see one sailboat, and two more came in a little after me, but they must have gone up into the deeper reaches, which are always popular. So the one sailboat is over there. All right, and back to the east. And now we're getting just a little breeze, just to keep the air moving. All right, so here's our chart for today. We started up here in Philbrook Cove, that's what it says, on 700-acre island, which is part of Islesboro, the southern end of Islesboro. And we came out this morning, had pretty strong northerly winds. We did, I think I mentioned, we did manage to tack our way out of here successfully without using the engine. That was nice. I must be getting better at that. So the forecast, again, I think I mentioned was 5, but it was easily 10, which over the course of the day built up well, the morning, it built up some chop, some whitecaps. Anyway, we came down and around and through this little area. And it's not clear on the chart how much water, what the minimum water you'll hit as you cross that bar. But I came across at high tide, and the lowest reading I saw on my depth sounder was 13 feet. So the tide's about 10 feet here. So doing that at low tide would be kind of dicey. Anyway, we came out of there and then came across East Penobscot Bay and over to, this is the north tip of Vinal Haven Island. And somewhere in here, in late morning, the wind kind of died. I had been reefed, both main and jib, and noticed my speed dropped off considerably, and so pulled out those sails fully, and the wind didn't die altogether. It just dropped down to the forecast like 5 knots, and we came through this gap here. The wind was swinging around to the east, but we're northeast at this point, so we managed to get through here without having to tack and then turn south. And we're going to flip the page over here. And came through here, turned south, came down the east coast of Vinal Haven Island and down, and actually we came I wanted to take a look in here, so we came down through this passage, which is called the Little Thoroughfare, because the main Fox Island Thoroughfare is right over here, so you could think of this as an extension of that. But we just came down through here to check out the potential for a couple of anchorages. We saw the schooner Heritage in this area, with the people ashore. Looks like they were having their lobster lunch. And we came out and around, and then down around this head, and whoops, I thought Seal Bay was on here, but it's not quite. 66A. Okay, new page. So we came through the Little Thoroughfare, down and around that head, and then into Seal Bay. And we still had northeast winds, and it was dead low tide, so not much current. So we did manage to sail, come in here under sail and all the way down to this area, and anchored under sail. So I enjoyed that.